Dear all, we are going to live in a few minutes. Dear all, we are going to live in a few minutes. Meanwhile, with my login ID, Professor Dr. Rashmi Sumani, Dean Management, Oriental University, will join. अभी जब मैं अनाउंस कर दूंगी तब आप स्टार्ट करें.
हो गया क्या सर? हेलो
So good morning, one and all. Am I audible? Okay. So here I would like to congratulate all of you for successful attempting the all goals. And today we are discussing on the goal 8, Sustainable Development Goal 8. Dear Christiana, I would like to ask you, is my voice is echoing or is it is perfect?
Perfect, and it's going not a problem.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. So today in a Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2022 on day 8, today we have a discussion on a Global Peace Sustainable Development Goal 8, which is decent work and economic growth. For this fruitful discussion, we have the eminent speakers around the world, and please give me the opportunity to welcome our guest of honor, Praveen Upadhyay sir, Senior Vice President, Kotak Mahindra. So, yes, sir, please accept, sir, our warm gratitude on behalf of Oriental University and Witty Gossip Association. So before starting with the Sustainable Development Goal 8, I would like to invite Dean Management, Professor Dr. Rashmi Somani, for the welcome address. So Dr. Rashmi Somani, the virtual stage is yours, ma'am. Please continue. I would like to request technical team, please make co-host Dr. Rashmi Somani. Dr. Rashmi Somani, you are now co-host, ma'am. Please proceed.
Okay, madam. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
Okay. Good morning to all of you. Greetings, all dignitaries. I am Professor Dr. Rashmi Somani, Dean, Management, Oriental University. Indore welcomes all of you to promote and support Sustainable Development Goal 8, Decent Work and Economic Growth. This goal aims to promote sustained, inclusive and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. Today, on this occasion, I welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Praveen Upadhyay, Senior Vice President, Kotak Mahindra Bank, on behalf of Faculty of Management and Commerce, Oriental University, Indore. Financial progress should be an optimistic strength for the whole world. This is why we must make sure that economic growth creates decent and satisfying jobs while not impairing the environment. We must protect labor rights and once and for all put a stop to current operation and child labor. If we encourage job creation with expanded access to banking and financial services, we can make sure that everybody gets the assistance of entrepreneurship and innovation for the global empowerment. To have a fruitful discussion further about Sustainable Development Goal 8 here on the virtual platform of Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2022, Day 8, I offer my sincere gratitude to all speakers. Over to you, Dr. Supriya Pathak, Madam.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your kind words. Now, I would like to request Praveen Upadhyay, sir, Senior Vice President, Kotak Mahindra, to give his address related to the Sustainable Development Goal 8, decent work and economic growth. So, Praveen Upadhyay, sir, please accept our warm welcome. Now the virtual stage is yours, sir. Please proceed.
Yeah. Thanks to all the Oriental University staff members. Christiana, ma'am from Croatia, who is with us since morning at 6 a.m. there. So my all gratitude to everybody who is here with me in this forum. Just a moment, my camera. My camera is not working, so some problem.
I would like to request technical team. Is there any problem with our end? Actually, Mr. Praveen Upadhyay, sir, is not able to open his camera. Yes. Praveen, sir, would you like to request, sir, please rejoin meeting, sir.
Okay.
Means you have to log out the meeting and again log in, sir. So
Otherwise,
there
I
is
can, without video, if you want, I can start it. Guess.
but sir, we won't be able to capture you, sir.
Okay.
So meanwhile, yes, sir. Meanwhile, sir, we can take the Saudi, sir, from the Florida, and then, sir, we will start, sir, with you, sir. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please join, sir. Please. So here, Saudi, sir, from the Florida State University, we have. I would like to request technical team, please make co-host Saudi, sir. Souji, Saudi. Saudi, sir, please accept our warm greetings and a warm welcome from the Oriental University Indore, sir. Sir, you are now co-host. So please proceed, Saudi, sir.
Very good morning, everyone. It's my great pleasure to join this platform and offer this summit of sustainable development goals, which is very important. So thank you, Dr. Supriya, ma'am. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, sir, loud and clear, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the Oriental College and distinguished guests and diverse people from the different parts of the globe. So today I was just, how I started is I was just thinking, Supriya ma'am and his team is doing a great job at the Witty Gossip. And I thought, hey, 17 days goals, how she is putting everyone under one umbrella and this much speakers from the diverse part of the globe, how she will be able to coordinate all these things. Great, amazing work by Dr. Supriya ma'am. So I just thought asking, just a couple of minutes back, ma'am, if you need any help, just tell me, no, just best me, or just send me a message. So suddenly she asked me, sir, can you just help me to be, now to talk about the economic part of the sustainable goals? I thought, yes, why not? So I like the way the enthusiasm she is bringing forward, and that's really great. So I'm just trying to share my slide. Can you, because I don't make it, I cannot make it as a big slide. I don't know what is happening. Can you see my slide, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if I make it big, can you just tell me, can you see it as a bigger? Can you see me, the full screen?
Yes, sir. It's a full screen, but sir, you have to make the slideshow, sir.
Right. This is the full screen.
Yeah, this is the full screen,
Yes.
and you have to make the slideshow, sir.
So I am making it the slideshow, but some technical errors, I think, here.
Okay, so no issue, sir. You can continue,
Right.
sir. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, and respected guests over here, today is, we are just discussing about the decent work and economic growth, the eighth goal of Sustainable Development Goal, which is very important nowadays. So let me talk about, because we cannot go away from COVID-19, because whatever we say, it revolves around the COVID-19. And if you see this pandemic, see a loss of the equivalent of 255 million full-time jobs were lost. And if you see, it affected the sustainable economic growth and full productive employment and decent work for everyone. So if you see, there's a graph plotted there. Economic recovery is underway. So we are just going to start a big financial crisis. We are at the verge, already started. That's why our oil price is going up. This is only a start. We don't know where it goes and end. So even in US, this part of the world, the gas price has gone high, and Ukraine war and this COVID pandemic, a lot of things are affecting this, the concept of the decent work. And if you see that growth, you can see from 2017, it declined to 20, like, and went to minus 4.5. From there, it is slowly raising up the global per capita. You can see that, the growth part over there is underway only. So I suspect that from my some of the reading, there will be a financial crisis which will be extend till 2026, and we should be prepared for that. That's very important. And COVID-19 has disrupted billions of life, and it's endangered the global economy. And like the International Monetary Fund expects a global recession as bad than 2009. That's really a lot of jobs will be escalated nowadays. Like the one of during the COVID, the workforce which survived was IT sector, Microsoft, all these companies, Facebook were able to survive because of the COVID, the way the pandemic spread across. And even before COVID-19, 1 in 5 countries, home to billions of people live in poverty, and a lot of disruptions to industrial production, falling commodity prices, financial market volatility, and rising insecurity, and a lot of it tampered the economic growth and risk for many other factors. Why I'm telling this is very important because the COVID-19 affected all the 17 goals, from the poverty, zero hunger, and all these things are affected in diverse way. Because by 2030, UNDP thought of having a very sustainable future by having these, concentrating on these 17 goals. And it brings, like, if you see the chart, which I'm going to show you once. Give me a second. Yeah, can you see the chart over here? Right, since COVID-19 affected all, like, all the 17 calls in different ways. If you say, going back to this slide, if you're talking about the no poverty, yes, all the measures which were taken for eradicate poverty became stopped. The hunger was spread across. The good health, the good health for the people, because the medical practitioners and the frontliners concentration was towards COVID-19, and it really affected the economic growth and quality education. Not able to give the quality education for the children because they cannot go to school, and a lot of gender equality. Another thing, this fifth one, the women were not even able to give the equal rights during this time. Clean water and sanitation was affected because of COVID-19, and really, and different ways. If you see, if you check each and every goals like that, till the first to the last goal, each and everything is affected. The work was really affected. That's what we can see during the COVID-19. Let me go to this slide. About 4x the number lost during the global financial crisis from 2007 to 2009, like 4 times triple. 1.6 million informal economy workers, and what happened? The international tourist arrival become less. A lot of people lost their job, and pandemic will lead, still is going on, to the increase in youth not employed in school or in training. So it affected. So that's why the work is very important. So that's why in 2020, the United Nations came out with a framework for the immediate and social economic response to COVID-19, and to it consists of 5 streams of work, how the meaningful work can be implemented. So they came out with, like, ensuring the essential health service and still available and protecting health system, helping people coping with, having social protection, basic service, protecting the jobs, small and medium enterprises and diverse sectors of jobs, and guiding, the financial stimulus and necessary surge in the financial stimulus and policies, making up policies, promoting social cohesion and community resilience and response system. All these things were made five streams. They worked on kinds of five streams of work for the social economic growth. And let me discuss about what is a decent work. We talk about a decent work in different ways. So decent work and economy, which is this sustainable goals, which are currently discussing now. So what is meant by a decent work? Let me draw your attention to the China. China, it is known as 969, 6 o'clock a.m. Sorry, 9 o'clock, 969. 9 o'clock, they start their work, they end at 9 o'clock evening. 6 days of work. This is known as 969 framework in China. So, what is a decent work? Decent work is how well we balance the work and the family. Family, work, life balance is very much important nowadays. So, along with our economic growth, a decent work says that there should be economic constraints should be managed, the marginalization, the way we think about how we marginalize the work, because a lot of people work in the society in employment. They do a lot of work, but they are marginalized. Their work has not seen intangible kind of work. For example, people who are working in IT field, they are intangible, but they are really working. People only visibly see the people who are in front of the service. For example, the hotel, the front office, or the F&B service, they only seen, but there are a lot of thousands and thousands of people who are working behind. So marginalization, economic constraints, and work pollution is an important factor. How they carry out that work, and career adaptability is another one. How they adapt to the particular career, that's very important. This all forms a decent work. So you can draw a lot of attention from China. Why I'm telling specifically about the China is the China is growing up very fast. We can draw a lot of lessons because we have politically we have a lot of problems with China. Central ministry, various policies. Various policies. There are a lot of problems there. But I'm talking about, if you look at the economic growth of China, the people who have learned the economic growth of China, you can see each and every house is a business unit. The women's have work. All the males and females in the house, they have work. So, for example, I will tell you an example by narrating about this pen. This pen costs, if this pen costs $5, he asked the China market, can you give this pen for $3? They are able to give that. If still you ask the market, can you give this pen for $1? They still say yes. Can you give this pen with 50 cents? Still they will be able to give. So for example, in Indian rupees, this pen costs 50 rupees, means they're able to give this 25 rupees, 10 rupees, even 3 rupees. When 3 rupees come, the inside will be totally plastic and you cannot reuse it. What the China do is they will formulate, they will customize their product, and they will give to the customers. And all the small cities in China are connected by main roads. And the policy is formulated in such a way that all the people are getting decent work. You should study the economy of China. That's great, important. There's something we can copy, but ours is a very much democratic country. We cannot formulate like people go to work from 6 days or work from 9 to 9. It's not possible. But we can formulate certain model from China. So that's what I want to say. So I just conclude about this decent work and economic growth from the United Nations. What they mentioned is United Nations Family, a global network of regional, sub-regional, and country office working for peace, human rights, sustainable development. Humanitarian action will support all governments working with partners to ensure and foremost that lives are served, especially during the COVID. Livelihoods are restored and the global economy and the people We all emerge strongest from the crisis. So we all needs to work together. We cannot expect that what government is doing for a decent work and economic growth. So what I want to say, the community, the people, the social organization, voluntary services, everything, everyone should join hand in hand, should work in during this crisis and in future to provide economic growth, and we should give opportunity. It's not we are preaching, just saying we should do that. We should work out some beautiful models. Ours is a great diversified country from different parts of India. If we put it a whole, there are a lot of things we can sell to the foreigners, especially our tourism. Different states have beautiful things, and what we can do, if each and every state, for example, I was working in Malaysia. In Malaysia there are 13 states are that each and every state is having at least 4 to 5 airports itself. For example, if I tell about Maharashtra, at least Mumbai, there will be 12 kinds of domestic airports. What happened when the airports comes? All the highways are connected, all the people are getting jobs, diversified jobs for the airports, the shopping malls, the shopping complexes, the taxi drivers, the shops, the roadways, different people are getting work. So India is, we will say, we economically we have a lot of crisis, we are a developing country, so there should be some beautiful economic model to work towards, like state by state. So we have a nation, India as a nation, then we have a state, then we have districts in each state. So each district should be treated uniquely for tourism, come out with certain models, and each district should have an airport. Nowadays it's not a no, we have investment, we need investment. So a lot of ways the investments can be done. Maybe you should run for 12 years, then only you can make a profit. But to generate the job, these kinds of policies are very much important. So to conclude, what I want to say is decent work and economic growth is very much important for a society. The pandemic will go, but we should have a good forecasting about what we can do for the country. The leaders, the educationists, the voluntary organization, social organization, community, all should work hand in hand to ensure that we are doing something for the development of the country. Don't expect that government only should do things. That's the way we have to work uh, forward. For example, this particular summit we are discussing, this is a beautiful way of what we are delivering, a kind of no knowledge management. We are doing a knowledge management, kind of streamlined knowledge management, and we are delivering it to the public. This is a great way of doing things. So thank you very much for this opportunity. If you have questions, you can always ask. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your wonderful speech, for your wonderful thoughts. Thank you very much for joining us. And actually, Sauji sir is one of my well-wisher, one of my mentor. Whenever I need any help related to these kinds of summit and related these kinds of intellectual talks, so Sauji sir, from any corner of the world, he is ready to help me. So thank you very much, Sauji sir. Thank you very much. It's a really a very nice presentation. So here we have a Christiana. Christiana, would you like to add something more about the Sauji sir's presentation?
Good morning to all, and I agree with all words what Sauji said, because that is the problem, because we have the decent work in Croatia, but when somebody wants to trade or sell something cheaper, they ask China, and they make it for less money, with children work, and that is not good. Not for money, that is not good for children. They don't need to work until 16. They must finish the school, they must go to school, they must have the childhood, and because of that we must change something with that cheap stuff, that everybody must have that cheap pen with pen pollution the area. And yes, I agree that we must change something about that. With children work, decent work, and childhood for every child. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that input, Christiana.
Saudi sir, I would like to request, would you like to do this gesture? Amazing, sir. Amazing. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, sir,
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
your
Thank you,
valuable
ma'am.
input, sir. Yes.
Thank you,
So,
ma'am. Thank
yes.
you.
We have Praveen Upadhyay, sir, Senior Vice President, Kotak Mahindra, with us. Today, he is a guest of honor for this Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit, Day 8. So now, Praveen Upadhyay, sir, the virtual stage is yours, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Sorry for that disturbance.
No, sir,
And
we are very sorry, sir, for all the inconvenience, sir. Please,
No.
please go ahead, sir.
thanks to Saudi sir, because he covered half of my part of COVID, which I was about to tell, but he already covered, so it's save my time and save my energy also. Basically, if you look out this sustainable goal target, which is divided into 17 parts. So this all 17 parts are interlinked. So if we are on today on the goal number 8, so from 1 to 7, if we have achieved something, then we can proceed to the goal number 8. In the same way, when we do the goal 8, then it goes to goal 9, 10, 11 to 17. Goal 8 is basically a very proper goal for making any country to be a more economically viable, so that they are in a position to handle each and everything. Because economic plays an important role for development of any country. For making an economic growth, it is necessary that the citizen of that country are having a proper job. They are doing something so that they earn decent, and then they can sustain the economy. To make it, I am just dividing this goal into 3 parts. First is the decent work, then economic growth, and how it going to be making us sustainable. So decent work, it consists on 4 pillars basically. If you look out at this majorly on 4 pillars. First is the promoting job. Second, guaranteeing a proper right to work, a proper guarantee right at work. Then extending social protection and promoting social dialogue. So these 4 are the important pillar for decent work. Promoting job here, it means is basically that they have a employment opportunity, person having an employment opportunity. They are skilled, they are educated, but if they don't have an employment opportunity, it will be a problem. They have an adequate earning from this job. Like Saudi sir was saying, that a person having a job, but they are not earning decent, again, it's a problem. Then guaranteeing right at work means they have a decent work balance. So work balance means they have a decent work timing, they have making a proper balance with their work, their life, their family, for themselves also. Not for work and family, for themselves also, some person has to need some time, so that the skills, the development, the growth, they can proceed. Balance of work makes more stability and security of work to that particular person, and that lead to the safe work and environment, so person can do decently well, they do the decently the work, and then that person will lead to the economic growth of any country. So equal pay and equal means basically equal pay should be there for the equal type of work. It's nothing like the somebody is getting a more payment, more things for the person who is doing the same work. So again, there is a problem of decent work problem. Now comes to the economic growth part. If you look out economic growth part, economic growth is basically played an important role when there is an increase in production of goods with the services in any economy. How it will happen? It will happen when we have a proper employment. We have person are working accordingly what they are skilled. They are getting the salary properly. So potentially bringing in a higher expansion of productive and remunerative employment help them for economic growth of any country. If you look at economic growth also, if we can look out how we count is basically also one of the important factor how economic growth is count is the labor productivity. How labor is productive in any country also an important play an important role in measuring the economic growth of any country. So that helps country to grow more if they are properly productive. So both are the component, the decent work and economic growth are interlinked. So when a person are having a decent work, they are able to do the economic growth, play an important role in the growth of the economy. So sustainable economic growth help in any country to have both the platform together and lead to the economic development of any society. The goal 8 is divided into the 10 component. Out of this 10 component, the 10th component also plays a very important saying that financial access is more important. Financial access is more important to the citizen of that country. It means they have a proper banking, they have a proper insurance services. Banking play a very important role for any economy to grow because the cheapest source of fund comes to that particular person is from the banking sector and insurance sector. So banking sector makes person more vulnerable to take a risk because the cost of fund is very low, so even they can work properly. Like in India, today cost of fund is near about 7%. If you go to the US, it is 4%. In some places, it is near about 2 to 3%. So the cost, lower the cost of fund, lower the cost of the product, you are more productive. You are more in position to export the things at a cheaper cost, generating revenue and making the economic growth. So the 8.10 part, which is in the banking sector and financial sector, talking about the financial access to through microfinance also, through the self-help group also, through credit link group also, loan to the street vendors also. Like in India, in COVID times, PM started new things like to street vendor loans. So the person who are moving from metros to their town, they have a street vendor loan of 10,000 so that they can start something for their own, have a sustainable income to make their family in a proper protective mode. Again, thing is the entrepreneurship development, skill development, which has also played an important role for the economic growth, for the decent work. So entrepreneurship development helps through the banking sector. Skill development is also there. There are a lot of programs going on worldwide where the skill development is also focused so that person can do a decent working. They are properly skilled when they goes. So person who are in the age of 40s to 50s, they are also need some skill development. They need everything because the problem is when they are not skilled at the age of 40 to 50, they are not in position to do the work according to the requirement. So skill development is always required for any country for a better economic growth. If you look out the SDG 9, which is talking about, which is Saudis are also discussed, the infrastructure. Infrastructure development also plays an important role. The goal 9, which is about the industry, innovation and infrastructure, also depend on this economic growth of any country. Okay, so the problem only will be solved if we all together work on a proper way to increase our economy by making our skill up to date, by doing the things properly. That's all from my side because COVID already covered by Saudi sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Praveen sir, for joining us and actually present your great inputs related to the Sustainable Development Goal 8. Thank you very much, sir. So I would like to again, Christiana, would you like to add some more inputs about the Praveen sir speech?
Thank you. It's a very detailed, Praveen, and very good presentation. Thank you. And in Croatia, when it was COVID pandemic, the bank and the entrepreneurs women platform, they made insurance for the women who is the entrepreneurs by themselves and one employee. They have insurance for 3 days. If you don't go to work, they give you some people of help to get the food, to get the animals walking, and get insurance of that 3 or 5 days you must stay at home. That was a new model of insurance of entrepreneur, but they have only one employee. And nice said that you must have everything, not just work, the banking, insurance, and health, etc. And we have lots of strange worker in Croatia. I think 1,000, yes, 100,000 people came in Croatia from Ukraine, from India, from Pakistan, from Nepal. They came here in Croatia as a worker, and one association take care of them to get decent work, to get insurance, etc. And that is important, to care everybody, not just the citizen of that country. We must take care to everybody, and we must move the children of that area of work. Thank you, Praveen.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Praveen,
madam.
sir. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much. Sir, would you like to do this gesture? This is our signature sign, sir.
Okay. I'm not able to. What signature sign I'm not able to see.
Okay, sir, this is joining hands, sir. So is there possibility?
Okay, this one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Perfect, sir. Perfect. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your valuable input, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So now I would like to invite Dr. Manmeet Singh, the professor of Oriental University, Indore, head of the department, Faculty of Management. So Dr. Manmeet Singh, sir, now the virtual stage is yours, sir.
Thank you. I'm audible?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Supriya. First of all, good morning, India, and namaste to all the people across the globe. All my academic associates, namaste from Oriental University Indore. And I thank Witty Gossip Association and Oriental University for giving me an opportunity to discuss about the Goal 8 and particularly target 8.10, which is my area, that is banking, insurance, and financial services. Thank you very much. So before starting the presentation, can I share my screen?
Sure, sir.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir. This is visible, sir.
Okay, thank you. Every individual, I think society and world is looking for a peace right now, peace and happiness. Okay, and I feel that this is a fundamental right of everybody. But how it is possible when there is an equal opportunity and availability of resources for all? Those people who are deprived of this, if they are being provided it, and there will be a sustainable growth rate for all. And SDG 8 is a key weapon in the country arsenal to combat poverty. On the one hand, it creates well-paid jobs, which place necessary purchasing power in the hands of households to access food, clothing, housing, education, and health. So I will start my presentation with the quotes of three eminent personalities of the world who work for others and try to bring equality for all.
Manmeet, sir, Shilpi ma'am is here to help you to make the presentations of slideshow, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
So, these are the three quotations which are given by one by a great personality, Nelson Mandela, then Franklin D. Roosevelt, then Mahatma Gandhi ji. If we look at these three, that their objective was to remove the poverty from the world. I think I am impressed with all these three. That just hold on, there is some technical issue.
Sir, please click on the slide 2, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remove this.
Yes, sir. Yes. So, sir, you have to just click on some particular slide, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Sir, we are talking about the Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi, sir. So in this
Okay.
slide, we are see the name of these people, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
Okay.
if we read these, the objective of these three eminent personality was to remove the poverty. And if I talk about the Mahatma Gandhi, he has said it is the worst form of violence. And in fact, I would like to mention here that in Guru Granth Sahib, the holy book of Sikhism, which says that at least 10% of our income every month we should keep for the poor people so that we can remove the poverty from the world. And we should provide a free kitchen to the people also who are needy in the, like in the this corona pandemic. You must have seen all over the world that how the Sikh community was serving all over the world, not only in India but also all over. If you have seen the glimpses of that on the videos. So now you're moving to the next slide. So now the question arises, how we can achieve the economic growth. Recently, I had seen one podcast on the McKinsey.com, April 6/22, why inclusive growth is important. Growth leads to work, growth increases our income and our standards of living also. Are you able to see my second slide? There is some problem is there.
Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Okay. Yes, sir. Is the second slide is visible to you?
I think it is third, sir.
Yeah, third. It is visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So why the inclusive growth is important for everyone? Growth leads to work, and growth basically increases our incomes and standard of living. Whenever we talk about the economic development in any country, I think I will use the word economic development rather than the economic growth, because economic development leads to increasing the standards of living of the people. If a person standard of living is improving, then we can say yes, the people are getting their real worth. So growth basically provides security and resilience, poverty elevation, and education. So there are many positive associations, but growth touches on inequalities because skills bias leads to dispersion of income. So growth also promotes the wealth of the people at the bottom of the society. So why we need the growth, or why we need the development, sustainable development? Because wealth of the people at the bottom of the society increases. This is the reason that, and we have seen that over a period of years in India, those who were living in extreme poverty earlier, now there is an improvement in their standard of living over a period of time. In fact, if I talk about myself also, I was, when I was in my childhood, how I basically improved my career with the education only. I completed my education journey in a very better manner earlier, but because of certain reasons, I could not complete in a bigger schools. But later on, I studied a lot, and God helped me that today I am in the HOD of a particular department. But this was possible only when the education is being provided to the people who are at the lower level. So even if you are not having the income, but if the education level is being improved to the people, so I feel that they can become a richer and richer. So if we want the actual growth, so we should try to bring equality among the peoples, and this is possible only when we bring the education at the lower levels. So in India, a lot of efforts are being made in this direction. Now recently we are celebrating the 75 years of Indian independence, 75 Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, and Sabka Prayas. It means that we should all together we should achieve this objective of bringing the equality and bringing the we can say the Vikas means progress for everybody. We should bring the progress for everybody, and simultaneously not only the richer people should become more richer, and the marginalized people who are at the bottom of the society, they should also be bring together. So this is the basically the 75 years we are celebrating this way. India is celebrating this way. Then recently, we have seen a lot of changes have taken place. Recently, we have seen a Ukraine war and changes in the macroeconomic policy. And recently, one report I have seen from the Economic Times, 24th March 2022, that UN Conference on Trade and Development, that they've degraded the global economic projections from 3.6 to 2.6. And recently in India also, they have degraded from 6.7 to 4.6%. So this is a worry for all of us. So now the another important point is that unemployment rate, which is very alarming in some of the states of the India. If we look at the Haryana state of India, the highest unemployment rate was 26.7% in March, and followed by Rajasthan, Jammu and Kashmir, that was 25%, then Bihar at 14.4%, then Tripura at 14.1%. Okay, so this is another worry point for all of us, that now the question arises how we can go further. So again, the answer is sustainable and inclusive economic growth is required, because it creates a decent jobs for all and improves standard of living. Unless we say that there is economic development in the country and the standard of living of the people is improving, we cannot say that there is a growth. So growth is basically interchangeably we use the word growth and development, but I feel that the development or sustainable development is a better word than the economic growth. This is my personal observations. Then financial system, basically which I feel over my experience that if we make our financial system strong, then everything is possible. And because financial systems convert savings into investment and consumption, because if we are saving the things and we are not consuming the things, and there is no conversion of savings into investment, because a lot of people know that a lot of black money is there in the country or in the world, in fact, and because of that there are certain money which is not in the pipeline, and if that is being put into the pipeline, then in that case the people who are deprived from the resources, they will be bring into the society and they will be bring into the mainstream. So as a what we should do, we should make all our efforts to make the financial system strong, because these are the four components of financial system. One is the financial institutions, financial markets, financial instruments, financial services, and regulatory bodies. If we make all these bodies together and make them strong, then actually the financial system will become strong. So in India, we are basically focusing on making all these components strong. So how it is being possible? Then what is the government initiatives are being taken? Recently, the government of India, along with the regulatory bodies like Reserve Bank of India, Central Bank of the country, IRDA, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, then Capital Markets Body, Security Exchange Board of India, and another body which the government has created, that is this is Pension Fund Regulatory Development Authority. Then they have making the basically joint efforts to bring the financial inclusion as one of the important national objectives. And they have basically two national level strategies has been formed. One is an NSFI, and then second NSFE. In the recent slides, in the next slides, we will see all these things. And recently we have seen that certain financial inclusion index has been created by the government. One composite financial index has been created on the guidelines of the UNDP, that is United Nations Development Program. And one more basically index has been created by the NITI Aayog, that we will discuss in the later slides. So if we make the financial system strong, so naturally there is a possibility that the economic development in the country can take place. So let us now see what are the four pillars, or the five pillars I can say rather, for the sustainable economic development. One strategy which the government has created, that is the National Strategy for Financial Inclusion, and NSFI, Another strategy is National Strategy for Financial Education, NSFE. Then another important which is being created by the government recently, multi-dimensional composite financial inclusion index, FI index. Then BFSI, Banking, Financial Services and Insurance Sector Council of India, which was set up in 2011, and Niti Aayog Sustainable Development Goal India Index. So I think India had made a lot of efforts, but though the efforts had been started late, but I feel they are on the right track. They are on the right track because I have seen the data, which I will share you in the coming slides, that how India is progressing on the path of sustainable development. Let us see the next slide. A very beautiful definition has been given by our former chairman of the Reserve Bank of India, Dr. C. Rangarajan. He defines financial inclusions as a process of ensuring access to financial services and timely and adequate credit where needed by the vulnerable groups such as weaker sections and low income groups at an affordable cost. So financial inclusion, I think, is the main weapon in India's hand by which I think we can achieve the objective of sustainable development. In 7 out of the 17 UNDP SDG goals up to 2030, financial inclusion as a key enabler for achieving the sustainable development worldwide by improving the qualities of the life of poor and marginalized sections of the society. So if we look at all the 17 goals of this SDG, then we can say that out of that 17 goals, which has been developed by the United Nations, along with all other associate bodies, that 7 talks about the financial inclusion. So now you can see the importance of financial inclusion, how it is so important in the country, how India is so much worried about the financial inclusion. So how India is moving towards the financial inclusion. In the coming slides, you will see this. There are strategic 6 pillars which has been created by the National Strategy for Financial Inclusion, which I have mentioned in the earlier slides. That the first one is the National Strategy for Financial Inclusion. Let us see what are those pillars. The first pillar is the universal access to financial services. So financial services, earlier it was not being provided at the lower section of the society, but thanks to the government that now they are much worried about this, that the people who are deprived of the financial services, they are also being included in the mainstream. And digital financial infrastructure has been developed. Now recently, if you look at that, there is a lot of change in the structure of the banking in India. Earlier, only public sector banks and the large private sector banks were having the place in the banking system. Now, if we look at the banking system of India, now they have included the smaller finance banks and the payment banks, and their reach has been reached to the poor people in the village also, so that now the business correspondents in the rural people are also approaching towards this, and they are getting a smaller amount of deposits from the poor people also. And in this way, the saving habits have also been encouraged among the people. Now, a lot of efforts are being made by the government. If we look at this slide, that panchayats and the fair price shops and common service centers and educational institutions, they are also being promoted that all transactions are to be done in a digitized manner. So even in our university also, we accept all payments in a digitized mode. Now there is no cash transactions are being dealt in the organizations. So this is a very great step in the education also, so that we can bring transparency among the people. So this is a great effort by the government. Then another is a bouquet of financial services. If we look at the bouquet of basic financial services, which has been provided to the marginalized society, that is bank deposit account, then credit, micro life and non-life insurance products are also being made available to the people. So let us see in the coming slides, what are the efforts which are being made by the government and with the financial data. Recently, in 2014, the government of India had started a one Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. In this mission, they have basically talked about providing the banking services for every unbanked household based on the guiding principle of banking the unbanked, securing the unsecured, funding the unfunded, and serving unserved and undeserved areas, underserved areas. And if we look at the progress of this, see the progress of this. Progress of this, the Pradhan Mantri, that is the Prime Minister, laid the foundation of this Jan Dhan Yojana. And if we look at the data, in March 2015, it was 14.72 crore accounts were opened. And if we look at the data at March 21, the data has increased to 42.2 crores. And if we look at the another slide, they have provided the debit card also, that is a RuPay debit card, that is a total of 31.45 crore RuPay debit cards have been issued till 23rd of February 2022 under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. And this is the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana is provided to those people who are not having the basic saving account earlier. So see what the improvement has made India in this direction. Then another important scheme which has been provided by the government. Let us see before that the deposits. Earlier the deposit which were 15,670 crores in the accounts of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Now in March 2021, the deposits has been increased to 1 crore 45 lakhs 45,000 55. Sorry, 1,45,551 crores. So there is a, I think, 10 times improvement has taken place over a period of years. So this is a great achievement by the government. Then if we look at the Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, that is an insurance being provided to every household, life insurance worth rupees 2 lakhs at just 330 rupees per annum premium. So it is again another, we can say, the improvement which has been made by the government, and at a very nominal premium, they are offering this facility to the people who were not earlier covered under the insurance sector. Similarly, there is another insurance facility which is being provided by the government. No doubt it has been launched in 2015, but again, we can say the progress is there in India. And this is a basically accidental insurance which has been covered for rupees 2 lakhs at just a very nominal rupees 12 rupees per annum premium. So this is again another important improvement made by the government to cover those people who are not earlier know about the insurance world. So see the progress which has been made by the India, like everybody now knows that what is the insurance, why insurance is so important for everybody, for every household. Even in the pandemic, lot of claim has been basically paid by the government. If we look at the data of the government, lot of data is there. And in fact, lot of not only the data, but recently I have checked also by talking to some of the persons also whether they have received the payments or not. So government has cleared all the dues, all the payments over a period of time. Then another improvement which has been made by the government of India, that is Stand Up India. It is aimed to promote entrepreneurship among the lower sections of the society and tribes and women borrowers. It basically ranges from 10 lakhs to 1 crore to the women as well as the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, lowest category of the people from the projects which is called as a greenfield. Basically, greenfield means the new projects, those who are starting from the scratch. So only the borrower contributions will be only 10% of the project cost. So see, 90% will be financed by the government. 90% will be financed by the government. In the coming slide, we will see the data of all where the government, what was the target of the government and how much amount has been disbursed by the government over a period of years. Now see, if we look at the government, Department of Financial Services has recently issued such data. I have taken from the Department of Financial Services that if we look at the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, 44.76 crores accounts has been opened, and deposits we have just seen that 1,59,934 crore rupees. And the RuPay card, which that is a debit card which has been issued till now, that is 31.45 crores. If we look at the Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, that is an insurance benefits. If we look at the number is so good over a period of time, we have made a lot of progress in this area. And if we see at the bottom of this slide, if we look at the Atal Pension Yojana, basically Atal Pension Yojana is being provided to the people, those after the age of 60, they will get certain amount of pension. If they are not being covered by any formal organization, the government will provide the pension to them, provided they paid a certain amount of nominal amount of premium up to a certain age. And after that, attaining the age of 60, they will get a pension till their life. And after the death of the old age person, their legal years will get the pension. If anybody is there, like his spouse is there, so they will get the pension. So see how India is progressing, and the data is really good because they are working very hard on this direction. Similarly, there is another Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. Again, this is a for the entrepreneurship or developing the entrepreneurship. They have basically giving a different category of loans: Shishu, Kishore, Tarun, and new entrepreneurs. So this is the amount. If we look at the amount, no doubt they had started late, but again, I will say that the government is the right direction, and they have created everything transparency. All data anybody can see, they can watch this data, they can go to the Department of Financial Services. So see the transparency which has happened over a period of years. Everybody can see the data, everybody can check it, whether this data is genuine or not. So a lot of efforts are being taken by the government in this direction. Then this is again a data of Stand Up India. If we look at the loan, which the amount of loan which has been provided, that is 19126 crores. Accounts has been opened, 3940 crores. Amount has been given to scheduled castes, scheduled tribes. Then women entrepreneurs. See how the government is encouraging to the women. See the numbers of accounts which has been there. 20 and the amount of 24,626 crores has been provided to by the government to the women entrepreneurs. So see the government, how they are helping, how they are making the women at home, empowering the women. See the efforts which are being made by the government. Then I'm coming to the next pillar, that is financial literacy and education. This is another important, basically I will congratulate the government, that how the government is making every primary school, then middle class school, then at the college level, at the university level, what are the efforts, genuine efforts are being made by the government to make the people literate about the financial, we can say the basic financial knowledge they are providing to each and every household. Now, if I talk about there are two stock exchanges in India, that is the National Stock Exchange and the Bombay Stock Exchange. They are every month, they are providing free of cost. They are providing free of cost seminars to all over the country. Even we have tied up with one of the famous company, Bajaj Finserv company, and under their corporate social responsibility, they are providing almost at a very nominal or a nil cost a big financial knowledge to the students of the university. So see the efforts which are being made compulsory for every private sector or a government sector, that out of their CSR activity, they have to provide certain amount for the education of the children. So in this direction, a very renowned company in India, that is a Bajaj Finserv, has tied up with Oriental University, and they are providing financial services knowledge to the students of the university. So see the efforts of the genuine efforts of the government, and National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange, and this organization, that is National Center for Financial Education. They are, if you go to the website of this, then you will find they have created a lot of literature, and with videos, audios, and graphic pictures. So anybody who does not know anything about the finance, they can learn the finance from this website. So a lot of efforts are being made by the government in this direction. Because I have visited all the websites, I've seen every data, I have seen and out of this, at a very free cost, they are providing to all the people in the world. Another important thing, that is the pillar 5. Then if we look at the pillar 5, that is the customer protection and grievance redressal. So again, this is the internal audits are being checked by everybody, and all complaints are being basically taken care of. Because if we see that a lot of financial frauds are being taking place, even recently, I was also being caught in one of the financial frauds, and I made a grievance for this. So my money has been returned back. So I thank to the system of the India, that now they have become more vigilant, and the system is very good, and now they are making all efforts. So even I know the all finance even then the people like me can be turned getter frauds. So what about the people who are at the marginalized level? So India is making a lot of effort in this direction to making the system strong, and the complaints are being solved at a very faster rate. And there is a certain cyber cell is there where we can lodge a complaint, and they give us a regular updates on what is happening about their complaints. So a lot of efforts are being made by the government in this direction also. Then again, I will say that the government has made a lot of efforts by coordinating all the bodies together, because today is the word of mobile phones, and all telecom sector, skill training sectors, and the government bodies, they have come joined together hands so that they can bring the financial inclusion in the society, and people at the lower level, they can be bring into the mainstream. Then in very brief, I will talk about the BFSI, that is the Banking, Financial Services and Insurance Sector Council of India. And they are making a lot of efforts in India along with the banking. We can say this one sector, that is NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation. Along with the National Skill Development Corporation, they are providing a lot of courses to the young generation. And these are the courses which are being provided recently. That is accounts executive, insurance agent, mutual fund distributor, credit processing officer, microfinance executive, debt recovery agent, and business correspondent and business facilitator. So these are the courses right now they are running. Before that, they were running according to the demand of the society. They were operating a lot of curriculum in their bouquet. And these are the courses which I right now they are offering to the people, and this is available free of cost. And again, mind you that this is available free of cost to the society. If we log in the website of National Skill Development Corporation or BFSI, we can enroll ourselves, we can get the knowledge. Any lady household can join this. So everybody now can get the knowledge free of cost. No charges are there in India. And you will get a certificate, and they are made compulsory. And they are made compulsory. Now the job assistance is also being provided by them. This is a very another important initiative that government is providing 100% placement. Those who clear all these modules or any of the modules, if they clear these modules, any of the modules according to their knowledge and background, they provide the job assistance also. So this is a great improvement. There is a 100% placement in this direction by the government of India. Then there is a multi-dimensional financial inclusion index has been provided by the Reserve Bank of India, and this Reserve Bank of India, they have created this index under the direction of UNDP, that is United Nations Development Program. They have seen all the we can say the index of all other countries of the world, and 3 parameters they have included. Basically, lot of parameters and indicators are there. That if we look at this, usage is one of the parameters. Then another parameter we look at is the quality. Then one parameter was the access, usage, and quality. These are the 3 parameters. If I will appreciate the efforts of Reserve Bank of India, they have studied the world parameters. They have studied the World Inclusion Index. In the World Inclusion Index, only access and usage were included. India taken one more step ahead, and they have included the qualities of index also in this. So see, after doing a lot of research by the Reserve Bank of India, they have included the quality parameter also as one of the important index, and they have a lot of indicators also. So if we look at the summary side, out of the 97 indicators in the index, 90 are primary indicators, and remaining 7 indicators are to combat the inequality among the primary indicators. So India is basically worried about the inequality of income among the people. They are not just writing in the books, but they are really worried about that how the poor people can bring into the mainstream. If we look at the table, we find 0 to 100 as the index. The score from 0 to 100, 0 means totally financial exclusion. If we achieve the target of 100, it means there is a 100% inclusion. But if we look at right now, the composite index of March 2021, it is 53.9. So it means we are at the halfway. There is a long way to go. There is a long way to go. But if we look at the excess side, there is a 73.3% score which has been achieved. So there is a lot of efforts which has been put in by the India from 61% to 73%. So again, India is on the right direction, but a lot of efforts are required from the India part also to achieve the target of 100. So score 100 will come. Definitely we will achieve the target of 100. Now, one other important, which I mentioned in the earlier slides, that there is a one government body which has been created by the government, and that is called as the Niti Aayog. And the Sustainable Development Goal, they have basically taken and they have created their separate index. They are basically, their objective is to localize the goals of SDG. Localize means they are bringing from national to states level, from states level to district level. So their objective is to sensitize the cities. Their objective is to sensitize the districts in the country. Their objective is to make the states aware, and they are creating basically awareness programs all over the country, all cities, all districts, all villages, so that they can be sensitized about the SDG goals. Okay, so now if we look at the indicators, recently they have set down the indicators for 2021-22. If we look at the four indicators, basically they have set down, one is the number of ATMs per 1,000 population, then employment generated by startups under Atal Innovation Mission per 1 lakh population, then number of banking outlets per 1 lakh population, then percentage of trainees placed out of the total number of people provided skill training. And they have basically kept four scores here. If we look at the right hand side of the slide, achiever will, if those who secure 100, they will be marked as an achiever. Those who will secure from 65 to 99, they will secure front runner. Those who will score from 50 to 64, they will be called as a performer. Those who will secure from 0 to 49, they will be called as an aspirant. So when I checked all the data of all the states, so I found that a lot of efforts are required on the part of, though some states of the India are on the right track, like Maharashtra, there are a lot of efforts are being made, like Hyderabad is on the right track because their literacy rate is very high. Their literacy rate is very high. So earlier they were on the lead, so they are on the lead side, they are on the front runner, and a lot of states in the country are still in the aspirant and performance stage. So again, a lot of efforts are required on the India part to become the achiever, from first from aspirant to performer, then performer to front runner, that front runner to achiever. So a lot of efforts on the part of India is required. Still long way to go. Then if we talk about what are the challenges before India for the sustainable and economic or inclusive economic growth or economic development, and what is the India response in that? The one of the which I have seen in my life from my childhood till now, one of the major problem which we are facing in India, that is the corruption increasing. But what are the efforts which are being made by the India in this direction? Government has basically turned down everything from increasing digital transaction to bring the transparency in the system. And infrastructure development scope has been created now by India by like Prime Minister Gati Shakti master plan in recently in the government budget, union budget 2022-23. And they have included private sector investments in the transport and logistics sector, and with over 35% year to year in the increase in the capex, and a proposed infrastructure spend of over 10 lakh crore they have basically budgeted in this budget. And I feel that the government will take efforts in this direction, and if the infrastructure is being developed by the government, lot of opportunity will arise to the India for progress, because it will create a job for everyone. It will bring a prosperity for everyone, because when the transport and logistics will emerge in India, so naturally fruits will come. Then and again another important thing which is worried about, that is the environmental sustainability is another important which the world is basically looking for. And India has made a direction is, I have, because I'm a finance professor, I know that what are the companies are doing right now. if I talk about the Tata Power Limited, they are basically making a lot of efforts. And if we look at the share price of the Tata Power Limited, that has gone up just because the Tata Power has joined hand with the governments with the certain projects. And in the coming years, you will see that the Tata Power Limited will give the fruits of that, because they are working on in the electric vehicle side. They are working establishing the basically the battery charging stations are being implemented in country over a number of years, you will find. So because of that, we are finding that in the stock market a lot of hustle and bustle is there. Lot people are moving towards this energy saving devices, and a lot of efforts are being made, like vehicles are converted now into the from the battery side type of vehicles are being coming out in the Indian markets. So a lot of efforts are being made by the government, whether it is a Mahindra company or it is a Tata vehicle is there. If we look at this over a period of time, you will find that the fruits are coming, and we will definitely reduce our dependency on petrol and other things. And another important, basically, the challenge before this sustainable development is the technology. No doubt, India has made a lot of efforts in this direction, but again, a long way to go. Recently, the India has launched a Digital India mission and made a technological advancement and to combat these challenges. Because we know that if the technology is good, then our agriculture will also make a good amount of progress. Because from farmer to consumer, if we want to reach, we have to make our technology faster and better. Similarly, if we look at the manufacturing, education, health, and governance, and all these sectors can only emerge basically if our technology is good. Because technology good, then definitely health system will improve, governance will improve, we will reduce corruption in the country, which is a worry for everybody, and we will cut down the delays, and inefficiency will reduce. But this is possible if all of us make a, a we can say the combined efforts, which the aim of the Mahatma Gandhi, or even I will say the all world is looking for this, that there should be a eradication of poverty all over the world. Then only we can make the country or the world as a safer place. So in the end, I will say India government and state governments and the local governments are making a lot of efforts in eradicating the poverty and achieving the objective of sustainable development of the India's people. And lot of innovative partnership along with the private companies are now in these days are being made. Recently, I have basically saw the monetary policy of also. So government is worried how to basically increase the consumption in the country. But this is possible, only consumption can be increased in the country only when there is a new investments are being made, and lot of efforts are being made by the government to bring the society in the mainstream. Those who are at the lower people, they can be bring in the mainstream, and infrastructure projects are being made by the government, and a lot of efforts from the government sector, and now the private sector has been made responsible in this direction. If we look at that, skill development is also taking place all over the world. In India, lot of, we can say, the bodies are there which are making in this direction. So skill development is also another important area where the government is looking for, because there is no shortage of jobs in India, but they need the right people with the requisite skills so that the result can be produced. So again, I will say to my students who are watching this, that you have to develop the skills. Unless you have the right skills for a particular job which you are wanting, which you are looking for, you cannot be employed. So you should take the benefits of the government of India's lot of initiatives at a very nominal cost, or even at, I will say, in certain cases at a zero cost, so that you can be bring down in the mainstream. Only the education can make you richer and richer, and no other weapon. Because if we do not have the money in our pocket, only the education can make you rich. This is the, we can say, the last word in my this presentation. Only education can bring change in this world. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Namaste from Oriental University to everyone. Namaste to all. Thank you very much. Witty Gossip Association, and everyone, all my academic associates. And thank you, Oriental University, giving me an opportunity to share my views about this goal number 8, that is again target 8.1. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, could you please stop sharing, sir? Yes. Okay. Yes. Dr. Rashmi Somani, ma'am, would you like to do this gesture, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. I'm giving you a spotlight. Yes. Perfect, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. So yes, here we have a Nada. Nada, it's a really nice to see you here. Yeah, I think in a Croatia, it's a very means midnight, I think. And so, yeah, I would like to request technical team, please make co-host Nada so that she will be able to switch on her mic. Yes. And Geena, please be ready with your presentation.
Yes, thank you. It's morning. It's morning, 8 o'clock, and today I work a little later, so I can be because we start really early in Croatia at 6:30. I'm really grateful to Professor Dr. Mehmet. I already write in the chat my views. First time I never listen this kind of presentation about the economic situation like in India. I learned a lot of things and I hear many things for the first time, and I'm really thankful because never really listen this and see all these pillars explained in details, full of information. And I already write that India is really happy to have professors this kind like Dr. Mehmet. Thank you really very much.
Amazing, amazing. Dear Nada, would you like to do this gesture? Amazing, amazing, dear. Dear, first of all, on behalf of Oriental University and on behalf of Witty Gossip Association, I am very thankful to put your insights, to put your valuable thoughts about the Dr. Manmeet Singh's presentation. Thank you very much, dear. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Manmeet, once again.
Yes.
Thank you, Nada ma'am. Thank you very much for encouraging to me.
Yes. Here, I would like to read the message of the Nada. Nada says in his text message, respected Dr. Singh, heartiest thanks for the great presentation, full information, data of India. In detail, you explain and give us a whole economic situation and solutions for growth. So honor to listen you and learn a lot. So indeed, Nada, this is a great input you actually put here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nada. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Manmeet Singh, sir, for your thoughtful and a very informative speech on the strategic initiatives for the sustainable economic growth and the final inclusion. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Now, yeah, now I would like to request again Geena Alcoriza. Geena, are you there?
Hi, ma'am.
Yes, hello, hello, dear, hello. So here we have the Geena Alcoriza from the land of the Philippines. So now the Geena, whole stage is yours. Please proceed with your presentation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Supriya, ma'am. And I would like to greet everyone. A good afternoon from the Philippines and a good morning to other parts of the world. I'm very much thankful for inviting me here once again, of course, by Witty Gossip, and of course, the very dynamic Dr. Supriya Patak. Thank you, ma'am, for this opportunity and sharing a lot of things and listening to the brilliant speakers for this session. Thank you so much. And please allow me to share my presentation. It's just a short presentation for
Okay,
this
dear.
afternoon.
Yes, dear. So, dear, you are a co-host, so you can share the screen. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you
So
have
I
started
get it,
the screen
ma'am.
sharing. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Yes.
get it. Okay, so actually we are talking about, it's really really interesting to talk about this topic, the 8th goal of the United Nations. That speaks more about the decent work and economic growth of many countries. So we are all here together, and our friends, no, not in the virtual platform, but all of us are actually looking forward for a better future. So we look for this. We focus on this, having decent work for our nationalities or the citizen in our countries, respective countries. And of course, we are looking forward for an economic growth for all of us. Okay, so I'm Dr. Gina B. Alcoriza from Partido State University of the Philippines. And my background is actually the background of mine. My virtual background is one of our natural attractions here. It's our natural landmark. It's Mayon volcano. It's an active volcano, actually. Okay, so I am teaching tourism. That's why I am very much happy to share with you our attractions here in the Philippines, most particularly in my hometown. Okay. So as other speakers presented all about this goal, this actually speaks on promoting sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, of course, by providing productive employment and decent work for all. So this is actually a very much inspiring and very much important goal, a very much important topic to be tackled in many platforms, because we are all aiming for a better future. But of course, it's in our hands, and it's in the hands of everyone, as Dr. Manmit detailedly provided us with the situation of India, as the country is trying to achieve this goal, no, before the 2030. So you are doing well. I'm happy that you are doing well too, and the Philippines actually is doing well too with regards to this particular goal. So that's why I chose this, ma'am, Dr. Supriya. Okay, so talking about this particular goal for our UN in 2030. So we are talking about here employment opportunities for us to have the economic growth for all. So we are talking about now everything, it's for all. We have to talk about inclusivity. We have to talk about not only for one country, but we have to talk about for the good of all people around the globe, regardless of the race, regardless of the color, regardless of the economic situation or economic a social situation. Okay, so we have to learn together, and we have to grow together. Okay, so since our goal is, of course, decent work and economic growth, it's for all. So we have a lot of things to do. Okay, so say, for example, as mentioned by the professor from India a while ago, we have you have such programs. So definitely, many countries are doing well also. So in my case, we are actually doing such things with our Ambition 2040. Okay, so the UNWTO SDGs are included also in our ambition 2040. So we have such ambition. It's a dream, okay, for the Philippines. And we look forward for a better Philippines in 2040. But of course, the same problems with you, ma'am, poverty, corruption. Okay, so the same with such problems. So we share the same sentiments. So that's why we people, we have not depend on the government, but we have to move forward as even just we are as a simple citizen or a citizen of the country. And educators, actually, as educators, we have to play important role in this particular goal, in achieving this goal. Okay, so we talk about here, I get also, I want to share this with you for eight pillars in order for us to have the decent work and economic growth. Okay, one is of course inclusivity. So we have to provide equal opportunities for our people to work with, to have their opportunity to grow also equally. And then we have to provide trainings and education for all, no discrimination at all. In my country, we have that education for all law. That's why we offered a lot of state universities here offering free education for higher education. So I am actually, I transferred here. That's why before Dr. Cipriya, you invited me and with the private institution, but now I joined the state university to maximize my resources to help the people for free education. So we provide here trainings and education for free to youth, to women, and to all sectors of the society through this education for all law. Okay, and then of course, since we are talking about economic growth, we have to we have to strategize on how to increase the GDP. Okay, so that's why we capacitate here the small medium enterprises or the micro enterprises. Okay, that's why we have to maximize the growth in the countryside, or we call it here, it's laylayan ng lipunan. Okay, those are the communities that are actually located at the countryside, and then assist developing, for the general term, assist the developing countries. Okay, so for us to achieve the decent work and economic growth. In the case of the Philippines, we have a lot of developed countries actually extending their resources, like the United States, the Australia, Japan, and the European countries actually provided us with infrastructure projects and many other economic sustainability projects extended to us by the developed countries. And then more on maximizing the countryside development. That's why we have here now, the development is not only centralized, but it should be decentralized. So more on development, infrastructure, and everything in the countryside for the Philippines to maximize the development. And then aside from that, economic productivity. So say, as mentioned by the previous speakers, technology is really a talk of the town now. So that definitely it's good for us to technologically advance or upgrading our technological capacities. And then innovation is a good thing also for us to have a decent work and economic growth. Then high value sectors, we have to identify and focus on the high value sectors. So those are the sectors in trends, and then the labor intensive sectors. So I am speaking now now on behalf of the tourism industry. In the Philippines, we have that RA 9593, or the Tourism Act of 2009. It speaks on the development now inclusively and sustainably the tourism industry for the purpose of economic development. Okay, so that's the law. No, we are all under that law to maximize the capacity of tourism industry to help the Philippines alleviate from poverty and maximize the economic growth. And then it's good for us in order to achieve this goal. Okay, we need to have that labor orientation properly to our workers. So they must be oriented enough of what their rights and what should be their relationships and their contribution to the economic situation of the country, and then study the labor problems. So actually, it's good for us to identify the different problems and labors like human trafficking, child labor, and it should be protected by law. Okay, and then we must provide safe and secure work environment, most particularly during this time of uncertainties, the pandemic. So we have to revisit our labor laws, and then we need to protect the labor rights of our workers. Then next is development oriented policies. So it's good for us. It's a collaborative effort between the government sectors, the government agencies, handling the different sectors of the government. It's good for them to have such one tune in their programs. It's all on development oriented policies. So programs for productive activities, decent job creation, entrepreneurship, as mentioned also by other speakers, and access to financial sectors like micro-financings. So definitely we are talking about small, medium enterprises, micro enterprises to sustain our local economic activities. So definitely we have to give them access also on the financial sectors, most particularly on the microfinancing. Okay, so actually we are doing such thing through our government agencies. So we have financial literacy, and we have assistance for business sectors, for small businesses, to give them an access to financial help or assistance, and then a lot of trainings for entrepreneurship, and then programs for youth, developmental programs for youth, for women, and for those we call them persons with disability, but it should be, for me, it should be differently abled people. Okay, and then another thing is the trade support. So we must have such, the researchers must have this is actually one of the things that we as educators can actually help our government and the entire nation to provide framework through our researches. And then technical support, say for example here, our practice here, not all people in the local government are very much oriented or trained to develop their tourism activities or tourism spots now and the localities. So that's why, as part of the state university, it's our program to provide them the framework of development, marketing framework, development framework, and then we conducted trainings for them as our technical support. And then financial institution, it should be also be supported also for the trade. And then the next thing is global resource efficiency. So we have to develop a resilience community. Why we practice this? Because the Philippines is frequently visited by typhoon. Oh, that's because we are located at the Pacific area, the part of the Pacific Ocean. So calamities are actually our life. Okay, like volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and typhoons. So estimated the estimated typhoons that visited the Philippines, actually about 20 to 30 typhoons a year. So that's why we are very much resilient. The circumstance actually teaches us on how to be resilient enough. And then that's why we have this resilient community. And then sustainable consumption and production. So there must have such balance. Okay, so that's why we have here programs like Go Local. So we appreciate, most particularly this time of pandemic. So we have that Go Local. We strengthen the program of Go Local. We appreciate and we patronize the local products for them to maximize the local economic growth. Okay, then our economists are actually gave us the opportunity to learn more on how to sustain the demand and supply of our products here in the Philippines. Then, of course, for policies. So these things can be done with a clearer policy. Okay, so youth development. Now we have the Philippine Youth Commission that actually gave trainings for youth. And we have also programs for out-of-school youth. So because it's a problem here, we have a lot of out-of-school youth who are not studying because they are part already of the labor sector. So that's why we have that night shift youth development trainings. And then we have also trainings for migrant workers. And actually, we have trainings also and clearer policies for our OFWs, or we have that overseas Filipino workers, because the Filipinos are actually spread throughout the world. So even in the different countries, you can see Filipinos there because they are working in the different countries for, of course, for a living. And then we have a clear policy also for women, and then as much as possible, we have to provide sustainable jobs. So, and then of course, and promoting also the local culture. So these things actually are the ingredients for us to achieve decent work and economic growth as one of the goals of our United Nations. This is what I shared, actually, the experience of tourism, of the Philippines, but actually this is true to all. So even though we are not we're not sharing the same culture, but definitely we are sharing the same goal also, right? Okay, so as I shared with you, we have here the Ambition Natin 2040. So this is actually crafted by our government through the collaborative effort of different local and national agencies, based on the SDGs. And then this is actually the framework for that. So we have also pillars of achieving these goals. So this is actually the general goal for us. But as I end this presentation with you, I would like to remind everyone that alone we can do little, but together we can do much. So my dear friends, we have 17 goals that we are aiming to achieve in 2030, but every one of us has its little contribution. Okay, and it can these little things can make it more when we are together working for it. Thank you so much, my dear Madam Dr. Supriya, and the rest of the people who are sharing with us this afternoon in the virtual platform. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
Thank you, dear. Thank you very much. Could you please stop sharing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. I am giving you a spotlight. Okay. So would you like to do this gesture? Amazing, dear. Amazing. Thank you very much, dear. Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful insights, dear, about the economy of the Philippines and your ambitions related to the economic growth by 2040. Thank you very much. Dr.
you, ma'am.
Manmeet Singh, would you like to add something more about the Gina Alcoriza presentation?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Gina. It was a wonderful presentation. And by your presentation, I came to know about the Philippines, what is happening there, and how the Philippines is being progressing there, and how you are basically taking care of your citizens, how you are taking care of the people who are from the marginalized section of the society. And in the same way, I think the same is happening, which is happening in India. The same thing is happening in your country also, and you are also on the same path. Thank you very much for such a wonderful presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Geena. Actually, Dr. Geena is one of my mentor, my friend, who is always available to support me. So thank you, dear. Thank you very much, dear. Thank you. So please accept our virtual clap, dear. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So now I would like to invite Haripriya Sahu, ma'am, head of the department from the Imperial College, Odisha. Now, Haripriya Sahu, ma'am, the stage is all yours, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
So, namaste and good morning to everyone present over here. So, I'm Haripriya Sahu, faculty member of Imperial College from Bargarh, Odisha. The Sustainable Development Goal, a new development agenda with 17 goals and a universal commitment to end poverty, hunger, and reduce inequalities, to make our planet cleaner, safer, sustainable, and to work together to fill our lives with opportunities through health, education, justice, and hope, prosperity. So decent work can help us. Decent work can actually help us achieve all these goals. So out of all the sustainable development goals, today we are here to reflect on the sustainable development goal number 8, that is decent work and economic growth, and how we promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth, employment, and decent work for all. With that in mind, I'll quote ILO Director General Guy Ryder that more people in decent job means stronger and more inclusive economic growth. So, but the question is, what is decent growth? How would we define that? Global polls rank access to jobs as priority, and not just any job, that is quality jobs. Not just any work would be called as a decent work. So decent work means what I feel is dignity, equality, a fair income, and safe working conditions. Decent work puts people at the same center of development. It gives women, men, and youth a voice in what they do, the right to protect them from exploitation, and a future that is inclusive and sustainable. Decent work drives sustainable development. So decent jobs are jobs that create connectedness. They are jobs that workers can actually rely on, or they are jobs where workers feel valued and they create value. So decent jobs underpin the capacity of people to not only spend money in their community, but also define the time and energy that people can put into building those communities. And just as surely as more people in decent jobs means stronger and more inclusive growth, then when people are pushed into indecent work, we see growing inequality and weakened economic growth. So these are the Sustainable Development Goal number 8, and these are the 12 targets in total to be achieved by 2030. And some targets are for 2030, others are for 2020. The first 10 which you are seeing on the screen are the outcome targets, and the rest 2 which you are seeing on the screen are the for means of achieving. So these goals aimed at ensuring the economic sector of every country provides the necessary need for its citizens to have a good life, irrespective of their background, race, or culture. In many places, having a job does not guarantee the ability to escape from poverty. This slow and uneven progress could require everyone to rethink and retool the economic and social policies aimed at eradicating poverty. So one thing which I have seen is that no one left behind is at the core of sustainable development agenda for 2030. And if economic growth is to build a fairer world and it must be inclusive, this is the idea behind Goal 8, which aims to sustain an economic growth rate of 7% for the least developed countries by 2030 and achieve full and productive employment for all men and women everywhere. So how India is connected to goal number 8? India can forge its own growth path, which can rely on both manufacturing services as growth accelerator and employment generator. The challenge will be to create well-paying and productive jobs in non-farm sectors that can absorb more unskilled laborers, including women and those in rural areas. As of today, labor-intensive manufacturing has not driven productivity growth and job creation. Almost half the labor force in India still works in agricultural sector with low productivity. It is difficult to promote gainful employment in agriculture. So enhancing agricultural productivity through public investment and new technologies should be a priority focus area. Moreover, upgrading to high value commodities, reforming agriculture marketing policies and market inventions, and strengthening linkages to agribusiness are critical areas ripe for government intervention. So these are the few schemes which Dr. Manmeet has already addressed many in quite detail, that these are some of the flagship programs which Indian government has actually aimed at bringing decent work for all. So Indian economy has been growing and jobs are abundant. The emerging and developing countries in the region have raised 7.6% annual GDP growth between 2007 and 17. And this was enough to lift 8 countries from low income to middle income status. So labor productivity growth in the region has also outpaced the global average, a good mark for the economic growth. But then we have not so good stories behind this success in terms of labor outcome market. So what are those? Like 1/5 of young people are not in education, employment, or training as per the global data. And as you can see in the screen, so to promote globally, 172 million people are unemployed, of which 71 million are young women and men. And these are the data of India, which shows that labor force of 510 million people are there, and more than 10 million children are employed in some form of labor. 12.8 million enter the job market every year. 12 to 15 million estimated annual demand for employment in India. 6.9% total unemployment rate. 20.7% of employed adolescents are engaged in hazardous kind of work, and 24% declining female labor force participation rate is there. So this means that economic growth has not brought about sufficient creation of paid work for the region's expanding working population. But some questions are there which makes us question our society and system. Like, what happens when a household member is injured and can no longer work? What happens when an aging parent moves back in with a son or daughter as another mouth to feed? What happens when a family crops are destroyed by a flood and there is no one left to send abroad any money or elsewhere? What happens in those hovering just above the poverty line? A big portion who are there move back into the circumstances of working for survival. So excuse me. So there is an incredible degree of fragility behind the growth record in this region. So can India turn this around? Can India find solutions, or this world can find solution to these approaches to all these, like a large informal economy, challenging youth unemployment, inequality, access to social security, skills development, entrepreneurship, gender gaps, and transition to a greener economy? So to answer all these questions as a big yes, we need to make decent work as a priority of the sustainable development goal. And here it is why. First, because work touches everyone. No country is immune to a lack of decent work. Second is decent work drives development. ILO report has shown that developing countries that invest in quality jobs grew faster. Decent work is what people want. A Gallup World poll has shown that ranked access to good jobs as the #1 priority. Decent work transforms society for better. So decent work is a foundation for equitable, inclusive, sustainable development. And because the quality of jobs and not just quantity is at stake, so everyone is entitled for the decent job. So to conclude in all to everything, what I just want to conclude that we all need to come together to help in achieve all these sustainable development goals, which I am just showing on the screen. As Ms. Nada has also just referred now that alone we can do a very little, but together we can do a much. And as Mahatma Gandhi has also stated that be the change you want to see in the world. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Here, I would like to correct Haripriya Sahu ma'am. Actually, she is not Nada. She is the Geena who in this
Sorry.
presentation. Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Here, we can read the message of the Nada. Heartiest thanks on the opportunity to be part of the great summit. Thank you, dear Dr. Supriya, and all who provide and work hard for the grand success of this amazing 17 days. So Nada, your valuable inputs means a lot for this, for the organizers, for the Oriental University, and for the Witty Gossip Association. Thank you very much for your valuable inputs, dear. I would like to invite Dr. Manmeet Singh again. Would you like to add some inputs about the Haripriya Sahu ma'am presentation?
Sure, ma'am. Haripriya, it was a wonderful session, and
thank you.
We have talked about how the quality of work is important for a person. Because if we do not have the decent work, so how we can achieve the target of inclusive growth? So no doubt the work is required, but decent work is more important rather than the work. Thank you very much, Haripriya. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dear Haripriya, I would like to say again, please do this gesture. Amazing, dear. Amazing. Thank you very much. So thank you. So now I would like to request and I would like to invite Professor Dr. Neelu Gupta, ma'am. She is an associate professor in Oriental University and a research supervisor. So Dr. Neelu Gupta, ma'am, the stage is yours, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Supriya, ma'am. Namaste from India. I, Dr. Neelu Gupta, on behalf of Oriental University Indore, Faculty of Management and Commerce, would like to thank our guest of honor, Mr. Praveen Upadhyay, Senior Vice President, Kotak Mahindra. My special thanks to Dr. Manmeet Singh, sir, for the knowledgeable session for Sustainable Development Goal 8. I would like to my gratitude to Gana ma'am and Nada ma'am also for his special and wonderful words. My special and heartily thanks to Christina ma'am also. My humble thanks to Sauji sir, क्योंकि उन्होंने he is the first speaker, so that my special and humble thanks to Sauji sir from Florida State University. My warm thanks to the Witty Gossip organization to conduct these special goals from day 1 to day 17, and we are very proudly thanks to Dr. Supriya ma'am to organize this wonderful event for us. I would like to my sincere thanks to Dr. Mrs. Somani ma'am, Dean Management and Commerce, Oriental University Indore. My warm thanks to my warm thanks to Shilpi Upadhyay ma'am and Dr. Supriya madam. I also thanks to our Honorable Chancellor sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor sir, higher authorities to provide this very enthusiastic platform for us. And my special thanks to my team, Dr. Dheeraj Neem sir, Dr. Manjari Gupta ma'am, Dr. Supriya ma'am, Shilpi ma'am, Harsha and Neha ma'am. And special thanks to Ankur Pandey sir also. Thanks to all the members and special thanks to my students. Thank you so much, Supriya ma'am.
Thank you. So, Dr. Neelu Gupta, ma'am, would you
Yes.
like to do this gesture, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. So, as the Witty Gossip's tagline says, the great mind discuss ideas. And yes, today we have a fruitful discussion on the Sustainable Development Goal 8, decent work and the economic growth. And as suggested by our speakers and our guest speakers, that we have to focus on the targets of the Sustainable Development Goal 8.
Excuse
So-
me, Supriya, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Mera ek thanks. My one thanks is remaining to Dr. Haripriya Sahu, ma'am. I'm extremely sorry. So again, I would like to thank Haripriya Sahu, ma'am, for her wonderful words and wonderful PPT. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Actually, the Haripriya Sahu, ma'am, is one of the global convener of the Witty Gossip Association.
Wow,
And yes,
great.
Haripriya
Mhm.
Sahu, ma'am, we are very grateful that the Imperial College Odisha has associated with this Global Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2022. So thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure, ma'am, actually.
Thank you. Haripriya Sahu, ma'am, again, I would like to request you, ma'am, because your picture is not there. That's why. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Actually, now Haripriya Sahu, ma'am, has become one of my mentor and one of my dear friend, ma'am, during these days. So thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
It's a great compliment and comment for me, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And ma'am, I must say, ma'am, your students are amazing. Actually, the way they deliver their presentation and the speech, so it's really admirable, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much for joining us. And yes, actually, in a chat box, Siddharth Chaurasia wrote a message. Siddharth, yes, you are a very wonderful. But Siddharth, actually today we have getting late. So please, I am requesting you. We will definitely listen your views on the next day, dear. So thank you very much, Siddharth, for joining us also. And here I would like to thank Expressions English Solutions Private Limited for providing us this Zoom platform with the better connectivity and with the very much supportive technical staff. So I salute, here I am giving my big salute to the technical team of the Expressions English Private Limited for providing all the technical assistance and the Zoom platform. Thank you very much all to joining us. Thank you, Praveen Upadhyay sir, for joining us as a guest of honor. Thank you, dear Nada. Actually, Nada, you are really means on my core of my heart. I would like to say thank you, dear, for joining us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm sorry that I could not join these days because I always work in the morning. Today I work a little later, so tomorrow I can be, Sunday I will be, but these days I couldn't be really, and I'm so sorry, but I watch all.
Yes, dear, yes. Actually, you and Christiana both are the backbone of the Witty Gossip Association. Because actually, Christiana is the very first person who log in the meeting every morning. And I think at that time, there will be maybe 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. in the morning. So thank you, Nada. Thank you, Christiana, for joining us. Actually, there is a message of the Christiana. She is in a car and she is listening each and speaker and she is making her notes for the award ceremony. So thank you, Christiana. Thank you, Nada. Thank you very much. Here, I would like to mention that Professor Dr. Rashmi Sumani. So Professor Dr. Rashmi Sumani, thank you very much for all your efforts to possible to make the grand success of this event. So thank you very much, Professor Dr. Rashmi Sumani, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you from my side also to all the participants.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. So now I would like to request technical team, please end this meeting. And yes, tomorrow we will definitely meet for the another goal, Sustainable Development Goal 9, innovation and the infrastructure. And again, we will associate with the Oriental University and the guest speakers around the world. So thank you very much. So thank you, technical team again. And I would like to request again, technical team,